It is a beautiful late September afternoon here at Bedford High School. You're watching BCTV live streaming coverage of Division One field hockey. Today's game has your Bedford Bulldogs hosting the Green Wave of Dover. I'm Pete MacDonald along with Scott O'Donnell. Scott, the Green Wave is here, 9-0. This is going to be a test for McStowe and the field hockey squad at Bedford.
Well, Pete, this is the cream of the crop and the top of the heap at women's field hockey here across the state, with probably and arguably the best player in the state on this Dover team in number 19, Audrey Carter, who you'll see out there playing center midfield. Very talented squad, also followed up by number 23, Erin Lynch. Not sure where Coach Michaud will have Aaron lined up at forward or midfield, but those two seem to really connect. A lot of tic-tac-toe, and they always know where the other person is. They play a lot of club field hockey together all year round in the Seacoast program, and really, really spectacular players, and we'll see how that goes for our home team, Bedford Bulldogs, today as the players take the field. It's interesting to mention Audrey Carter, senior midfielder, has been recognized by USA Today as a top 50 field hockey athlete for the 2023 season. She is eligible for USA Today's National High School Sports Award in the spring of 2024. And Audrey is going to UMass Lowell next year to play for the Riverhawks. And I know that their family and the Dover program is really excited about producing this Division I phenom. As the ball enters play and O'Donnell intercepts for Bedford, passes up to Davidson. Davidson to the 30 as Denon gives chase, but Aaron Lynch is there and quickly moves the ball down the sideline. Quick break for the Dover Green Wave, but there is Amelia McDonald to break up the play and kick it out of bounds at the 30. McDonald on the insert. Goes near sideline. Ball bounces up, and they're going to call a dangerous hit, and ball's going to come back the other way for Dover. Lynch is going to drop it for Dover at the 40 and bring the ball back into play. Lynch sends it near sideline down to number 3. Hannah DeRoy. DeRoy tries to work sideline. Spins, McDonald is there, scoops it up, knocks it out nicely to buy time for the Bulldogs. A little nuanced play there, Pete, from McDonald, but beautifully done as she knocks the ball off a Dover player's stick and it goes out of bounds. So Dover ends up giving up possession, although the Bedford Bulldogs can't turn that into offensive transition. So Lynch back in near side. Montagano knocks it down, sends it up across the 30. Lynch again into Audrey Carter, number 19. Carter into the shooter circle, drives towards the net, tries to center it, goes off the foot of Brooke Poirier. Waiting for the call from the referee. And that's going to come back out to 25. It's going to be Dover's ball. So no corner call. Carter from the 25 tries to insert to a dashing Lynch, but O'Donnell's there to intercept. Dover comes back, tries to get in the shooter circle, does, advances towards the net. Montagano is there, finds O'Donnell on a quick outlet. O'Donnell tries a quick one-timer, doesn't get all of it. Bounces around at the 30. Lynch for Dover. Tries to go down low for number 3, Hannah DeRoy, but it'll go out of bounds. 12:30 left in the start of this game. Dover pressuring hard. Brooke Poirier, junior defender for the Bulldogs, tries to go near sideline to Grace Wolf. And Wolf just can't get the stick on the ball. It goes between her legs and out. It'll be a Dover ball. Lynch will bring it back in. Lynch inserts. Brings it up top. Number 21, Kaylee Robbins. Robbins loses control. Nice backhand feed from Montagano. Sideline. O'Donnell gives chase. Pops it up across the 50. And number 21, Kaylee Robbins, knocks it out of bounds to slow the Bulldogs down as they were starting to get across the 50. Poirier from the 45 tries to switch fields really quickly, gets it to Montagano. Montagano advances the ball, switch fields all the way up to Kylie. Kylie up across the 30, tries to pop it over the defender's stick, but number 5, Layden Churchill's there to break up the play for Dover. Ball out of bounds. Denon into Montagano. Montagano, quick spin move. Tries to go sideline. Instead, tries the insert over to O'Donnell, but Audrey Carter is there, comes away with it up across the 30. Big drive up the field. McDonald is there for the Bulldogs at the 40. Slowing the Dover team down. She's going to draw a call, and it's going to be a free hit for Dover from the 35. Carter surveys the field, looks for an opening, pulls up. O'Donnell gives a poke, but Carter gets by it, up to Lynch. Lynch tries to work around Montagano, comes across the 20, across the 15, gets it in the shooter circle, ball into the goal mouth. Ball bounces up, and they're going to call a free hit Bedford's way. McDonald quickly to the 16, moves it out far sideline. Denon gathers, finds Kylie at the 40. Kylie with speed, up across the 50, tries to advance the ball down the sideline. It goes off the defender's stick. So it'll be Bedford's ball. Denon back in, sees O'Donnell, hits her in midfield. O'Donnell, 35-yard line, tries to send Kylie, but nicely played by the Dover defender. Ball bounces around at the 25. Lydia Denon gives chase. She's going to draw a call. Montagano quickly on that. Comes up across the 25. Lynch reaches in, pokes it away. Quick stick handle around Montagano. And she's going to grab a free hit out of that. Poirier's there, sends it back the other way. Denon tries to find O'Donnell. O'Donnell, quick backhand down to Davidson. Davidson at the edge of the shooter circle, gets it in. O'Donnell gives chase in the crowd, in on the goalie. Beautiful defensive play by 19, Audrey Carter, for the Dover Green Tide, as she probably saved a great scoring opportunity there as O'Donnell bursted in with speed on the goaltender. Free hit for Dover. They try to clear. Davidson knocks it down. Number 15, Rylan Gray, sends it upfield. Montagano's there, knocks it down quickly. Sees Davidson headed toward the circle, just misses her. Nice defensive play by number 11, Elia Stancil, for the Green Tide. Montagano, near sideline, just mishandles out of bounds. Lynch for Dover, quickly up the field, tries to hit her teammate, but there's Amelia McDonald, beautifully played, near sideline, goes all the way up to the 30. Davidson doesn't get it on the handle. It bounced off the shin pad, and Carter comes back the other way for Dover. At the 50, goes out of bounds, and Carter's going to have a free hit. Big, beautiful lift from Carter all the way up to the 20-yard line, hits her player in stride. Dover in on net, trying to get a shot off. Beautiful defense by McDonald to stop the Dover player from getting the shot off. But the Dover Green Tide is going to win a call in their favor for a corner.
First corner of the game, but I'd take the corner because that broke up a terrific offensive opportunity.
Beautifully
for
defended by Amelia McDonald. Wolfiger was squared up, but you never know. That goal mouth is pretty wide. Ball inserted up to Audrey Carter, top of the circle. Maneuvers, winds up, big rip.
Whoa, caught that outside.
The Dover Green Wave strike first. Nope. The referee calls it no goal. Resets the play. I'm not sure what the infraction was on that. From the 16, Poirier. For folks at home, I apologize. I'm not sure what the call was. That was a heck of a shot by Carter. Another example, you can't let her loose. She has any space to wind up and hit the ball. 99% of the time, she's going to get all of it, and it's going to be a low, hard shot. I'm guessing because the ball came up in the air, the referee felt that was a dangerous ball and called it back the other way. Lynch tries to advance. Grace Wolf knocks it down. O'Donnell tries to give it back to Wolf on the sideline. Pops out of bounds. It's going to be a Bedford free hit, or I should say insert from the sideline. Poirier tried to advance the ball up the field, ends up going off a Dover player's foot, so it's going to be another free hit. Referee resets the play at the 25. Poirier tries to pass to Wolf. Wolf gets tied up with the Dover player, and the ball goes out of bounds off her stick. Aaron Lynch for Dover is going to bring it in at the 35-yard line in the Bedford zone. Lynch zips the ball through, knocked down there by Montagano. Ball goes up in the air. Carter jumps on it quickly, gets in the shooter circle, goes baseline, curls in towards the net, shot, and she buries it in the back of the net. Dover green wave, do strike first. Beautiful goal from Audrey Carter, the senior captain for this Dover team. She wasn't going to be denied there, Pete.
Not at all. Best player in the state, and that one counts.
Reset. O'Donnell, big lift down the field. Ball drops. Kylie gathers it up, gets across the 20. Kylie tries to drive it across, does. O'Donnell deflects, tries to get it back to Montagano, but Carter's there again. Carter with possession, comes across the 20. Montagano, O'Donnell, and Wolf all try and pressure her. She does still get the ball up the field to her teammate, who comes up across the 50, up across the 40 and the 30. Poirier playing her well defensively. Ball gets coughed up, and McDonald is there to scoop it up. Beautiful inside-out pop-up move over the top of the defender for Dover, as McDonald was showing some beautiful stick work there along the sideline. Got a temporary pause in the play. Referees resetting the players on the field. Lynch lines up over the ball at about the 30. And she goes goal line, and the ball goes out of bounds. Smartly played by McDonald as she watched it go and didn't play it prematurely. Ball comes back up to the 16. McDonald tries to go near sideline to catch Lydia Denon at the angle that was open, but Denon doesn't catch up the ball. It's out of bounds. Lynch from the Bedford 35. Passes back to number 21. Maddie Kiley intercepts for Bedford. Starts to get up the field. Foot call. Montagano sends it all the way up to the 30. Davidson is there. Davidson over to Lydia Denon. Denon back into the circle. Ball in the shooter circle. Kiley winds up, takes a rip. Unfortunately, doesn't get the ball off. Nicely defended by the Dover player. Number 5, Layden Churchill, breaking up the play and stopping a scoring opportunity for the Green Tide. Carter, midfield. Montagano's there, picks her pocket, passes it up to Kiley. Kiley at the 20, tries to advance. Gonna get the benefit of the call. Natalie Denon, senior midfielder for the Bulldogs. Back into play, finds Montagano. Montagano quick, into the goal mouth, saved by the Dover goalie. Scrambles around, Grace Wolf with a shot at it. Davidson gets it. Davidson tried to advance. O'Donnell with a quick stick, gets it towards the net. Kiley can't gather it.
A terrific defense by the Green Wave there.
Dover's able to clear. Nicely defended by the Dover team. And great pursuit by the Bulldogs. Ball pops right back down. Comes down low into the shooter circle, but the Dover defender gets it out safely. Grace Wolf's there, tries to put it back in. O'Donnell gives chase. Carter, beautiful stick work. Nice stick handling around 3 Bedford players, and up the field she comes, rips it with a long ball all the way up across the 30 and the 25 into the Bedford zone. And now Catane, far side of the field, tries to find Denon, passes it up, and it goes out of bounds off a Dover player stick. Bulldogs ready to insert from the 50. Denon across the 50, tries to find Montagano. Ball bouncing. She gathers it nicely, smartly back to McDonald. McDonald, nice crossfield pass to Poirier, up to the 40. Poirier tries to advance it, but Lynch is there. Lynch intercepts, passes it up to her teammate, who comes across the 30, into the shooter circle. A quick one-time shot by Gabriella Anderson for the Dover Green Tide, but just wide of the net. Another scoring opportunity for Dover. Catane looks to be shaken up on the play there. Looks like she got something off the hand or the wrist. I'm not sure if it was a stick or a ball as she comes over the sideline. And she's going to be subbed out as senior defender captain Madison O'Donnell, number 7, checks into the game and will go to that back line for the Bedford Bulldogs. McDonald advances the ball up to the 25. Intercepted there by the Dover player. She tries to spin, but Montagano gets it. Montagano tries to shake Carter. Near side to Grace Wolf. Grace Wolf tries to advance the ball up near sideline, just doesn't get enough on it. And Dover comes back the other way. Number 21, Kaylee Robbins. But O'Donnell intercepts, finds Denon. Lydia Denon up to Maddie Kiley. Maddie Kiley tries to push it forward, but just off her stick and back to the Dover player. Montagano intercepts there, finds Wolf again. Wolf again tries to advance it up across the 50, just doesn't get enough of it. And Aaron Lynch for Dover gets it. Over to Carter. Carter up the field to her teammate. Number 3, Hannah DeRoy. Tries to work around McDonald and gets a foot call off McDonald. And Dover's going to get another chance at a corner. 30 seconds left in the first quarter of a 1-0 game. The Dover Green Tide have come in and certainly done a great job with an offensive onslaught so far. The Bulldogs had one of their own, but just couldn't generate enough offense to put in the back of the net. Ball inserted, up top to Carter. Carter over to Lynch. Lynch, wrist shot, deflected nicely by McDonald and out of bounds, but Dover is going to get another corner call. The clock will expire, end of the first quarter, but the corner has to play out. Number 15, Rylan Gray, inserts to Carter. Carter moves right, left, stick handles to the goal mouth. Shot. Ball bounces out in front and goes in. 2-0. The Green Tide with their second goal of the night. And the Bulldogs just unfortunately couldn't hold them off to the end of the quarter.
I think what we're seeing right now with the Big Green Wave is exactly what you'd expect. They're number 1 in the state. Their offense is brutally effective right now against what has been a solid defensive line for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs just are not getting offensive opportunities, and it kind of backs up the stat that I was looking at last night, where Dover's only given up 3 goals in 9 games. That's just
amazing. That's
telling. It's either amazing defense, or in this case, I think it's they just keep the ball on offense, and it's paying off for them right now in the first quarter. We'll see what McStowe has in mind for. I think one thing is that they've got, if it's possible, you've got to get Audrey Carter out of the mix. I don't know how you do that, and I'm sure that's the $64,000 question. How does a team do that?
Yeah, she plays both sides of the field. You know, as a midfielder, she's giving just as much defensive effort as she is on offense. You know, her athleticism and endurance is really unmatched. I mean, she She runs the full length of the field up and down and never seems to miss a beat or need to slow down, as she seems to be in every play. Several times, I want to give credit to Eloise Montagano, for the Bulldogs. She was able to pick her pocket and get a quick opportunity the other way. And unfortunately, the Bulldogs just weren't able to connect in order to get that ball on net. I think it's going to be one of those games where the Bulldogs just can't afford to make many defensive mistakes, and they've got to play it tight defensively, make sure someone's covering down on Carter, make sure someone knows where Lynch is, on the field, and watch out for those give and goes, and then wait for them to make a mistake and try and find an opening, and you got to capitalize on those scoring opportunities. Last night, the Bulldogs played Nashua South down at Stella Stadium. They ended up coming away with a 5-1 win. We'll cover that at the half. And one of the telling things yesterday was some of the corners were not what they should be probably at this point in the season with a little bit of execution. So let's hope the Bulldogs can turn it on here. 15 minutes on the clock, ready to start the second quarter. And ball in play. Carter, stick handles right up across the 50. 3 Bedford players chase her. She drives it near sideline, all the way down and out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Just out of the reach of her teammate Hannah DeRoy, number 3. DeRoy is a sophomore, and she certainly seems to have a little chemistry going on with Lynch and with Carter, where every time they start to wind up, she starts to beeline it up the field to an opening. So this team's well coached. You've got Sarah Mouchard, who's been very involved in the Seacoast program, Jesse Paul as well over there as the assistant, and this program is very strong. Referee awards a free hit for the Green Wave. Lynch from the 10. O'Donnell tries to defend her. Sliding across is Wolf. She knocks the ball down, but it goes out of bounds. The ball's going to come back up top to the 25, and Carter will set from there as it's still Dover's ball. It went off of Bedford's stick. Carter moves, passes in. Montagano's there, quickly clears it sideline, trying to catch Davidson, but again, just out of her reach. Looks like McStowe has pulled the forwards back, try and help out on defense. So you've got pretty much the entire, not pretty much, you have the entire Bedford Bulldog team back below the 25, trying to slow down this Dover offense. Number 21, Kayla Robbins, tries to insert. Ball bounces around. Up to Kylie. Kylie to the 40, far side of the field. Trying to get around the Dover defender. Does. Gets the benefit of a call. Senior captain Natalie Denon scoops it up. Gets it to Montagano at center field. Montagano tries to connect with O'Donnell. O'Donnell gives chase, gets up across the 20. Into the shooter circle. Tries to advance it to the goal mouth. Does. Ball bounces around right out in front. Kylie with a scoop. Shot and score. Bedford Bulldogs are on the board. 2-1. Junior Maddie Kiley off the assist from Tegan O'Donnell. Excellent teamwork there in advancing that ball up the field.
Terrific goal by Maddie Kiley. And that's exactly what you want to see the Bulldogs doing is getting more opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. And it paid off.
So we have a 2-1 game, about 12 minutes left in the second quarter as the ball goes out wide to Denon. Denon tries to find Kylie again. She does a quick spin move trying to redirect it to her teammate, but Carter's there. Here comes Carter charging up the field. Plenty of room. One-on-one against McDonald. Spins outside. Big rip at the net. Far left side, and that hit a foot. And that ball did not go in the net. That's no goal. Bedford escapes another big rip from Audrey Carter, number 19.
Escape is definitely the word.
Kylie, far side. O'Donnell gives chase. Tries to rush the the Dover defender. Number 15, Rylan Gray. Gray trying to connect with Carter. Carter in traffic. Beautiful stick work. Rips it all the way down the field. Poirier knocks it down. McDonald tries to defend, but the Dover player comes away with it. A 360 in on net. Addie Wolfiger flashes the left pad to slow the play down and keeps the ball out of the net, but it's going to be a Dover ball. Boy, do they turn offense on quickly, Pete. A big strike from Carter all the way up the field. And number 3, Hannah DeRoy, scooped that in and drove quickly to the net off that beautiful spin move. That's not easy to do, trying to keep your feet moving, ball on your stick, and get the ball to the net. Really nicely done by the Dover player. Lynch from the 22-yard line in the Bedford zone. Inserts. Knocked down by Grace Wolf. McDonald pulls it out of danger. Brings it sideline. One-on-one versus Carter. Carter picks her pocket. Tries to go the other way. Montagano bumps into her, and the referee is going to call a corner. And essentially, even though that infraction occurred outside the shooter circle, if the referee's interpretation is that the player, the offensive player, Carter, would have got by Montagano and had a free shot on net if it weren't for the bump, he can call a corner even though the infraction happens outside that circle. So Dover sets with the insert. Ball comes right up top to Carter. Carter into the shooter circle. Moves right, moves left. O'Donnell gets in her way. Big shot. Nice pad save from Addie Wolfinger as she flashes that right pad, knocking that big drive down from Carter. Nice piece of goaltending. Carter right back into the shooter circle. Montagano. Now O'Donnell tries to clear it right onto Lynch's stick. Kylie pops it out, gets it free, finds Denon with a little room. Denon tries to give it back to her, but the Dover players get back quickly. Now O'Donnell tries to catch Kylie. Not strong enough. O'Donnell right on the stick of Montagano. Montagano tries to go far side to Kylie. Kylie on the sideline. Pops the ball up off the Dover player's stick. It's going to be a free hit. Insert for the Bulldogs. Natalie Denon. Denon tries to find Montagano. Pass goes behind her. And Dover comes back the other way. Up across the 25. Into the shooter circle. Facing McDonald. McDonald gets a stick out. Ball in front of the net. Bounces around. And they're going to call another foot call against the Bulldogs. Corner for the Dover Green Wave.
That's, by my count, that's the 5th corner that Dover has won.
Yep, they just keep coming. Hannah DeRoy, number 3, seems to be scooping up everything that Audrey Carter or Erin Lynch send her way, creating a lot of scoring opportunities. Lynch, back door over to Carter. Carter rips, hits McDonald. Big right pad save from Addie Wolfiger for Bedford. Carter still has it, winds up big shot. Ball bounces up in the air, goes off a player's head and out of bounds. Don't turn away from that ball and don't blink when Carter has the ball on her stick because she can really send it. McDonald out far side, over to Denon. Denon tries to go far sideline. Ball out of bounds. Montagano, quick play, up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell spins at the 40, sees a little open field, finds Lydia Denon nicely at the 40. Denon tries to advance it up to Davidson. Nicely defended by the Dover player, number 11, Elias Stansel. Big lift from Carter all the way up to the Bedford 40-yard line, but it comes back up to O'Donnell. One-on-one versus Carter. O'Donnell wins the call. Pushes it up quickly to Kylie. Ella Putney's checked into the game. Putney tries to get into the shooter circle. Can't. Montagano's there. Gets it there. Putney from the top of the circle trying to get a stick on it. And they're going to call a dangerous stick, or at least a stick-on-stick call. And that's going to come back the other way, but Davidson knocks it down. Tries to lead Lydia Denon just out of her reach. And there is Erin Lynch playing defensively and getting the ball out. O'Donnell from the 25 gives chase. And they're going to call a free hit going Dover's way. Carter from the 30. Big hit. Straight up the middle. McDonald knocks it down. There's Maddie O'Donnell. Scoops it away. Pushes it out. Far sideline. But the Dover player takes it back. Comes in on net. Shot wide to the left. That was a quick 3-on-2 as Dover surged coming in on the two Bedford defenders, but McDonald and O'Donnell were able to keep the ball out of harm's way, and Wolfiger was able to block off that far side of the net and knock it out of bounds. Just under 5:30 left in the second quarter. 2-1 game here. Dover with the lead. Denon tries to go far sideline. Putney tries to find O'Donnell. But Carter is there. Carter from the 40. Big rip up the field. Bouncing ball all the way in towards the net, but wide to the left. It's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to be a free hit coming out to the 16 for the Bedford Bulldogs. Amelia McDonald places the ball at the 16. Surveys the field. Tries to go far side to Denon. Denon bounces off her stick and out of bounds. The Dover player will bring it back in. Dover from the 32. Sideline. Putney, beautiful defensive poke. But ball stolen again by number 5, Layden Churchill for the Green Wave. She gets in the shooter circle, but there defended nicely by McDonald to get the ball out. Denon trying to work the ball up to O'Donnell. Tegan O'Donnell, far sideline. Finds Montagano. Montagano, center of the field, tries a stick handle through the defender, but poked away. And the ball along the far sideline as Denon tries to advance it. Does. Into a heap of players. Far sideline ball's going back and forth. Montagano quickly up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to feed Davidson up the field. Just can't as it gets knocked down. But Brooke Poirier comes up, plays nice defense. Near side, advances the ball up the sideline. Lynch is there, scooped up by Wolf. Wolf tries to send Kylie in. The Dover defender knocks it down out of bounds. Nicely played by number 11, Stansell. Grace Wolf for Bedford. Inserts into Montagano. Montagano in traffic. Tries to go low to Kylie. But number 21, Robbins for Dover, had broken that play up. Anderson, far side. Beautiful stick handle move over the top of McDonald's stick. Maddie O'Donnell's there, flips the ball out of harm's way and up out of the way of the shooter circle. Up to Tegan O'Donnell. Tegan O'Donnell across the 40. Advances the ball up to her teammate Lydia Denon. Denon at the 40. Pushes the ball up. Putney gives chase. The Dover defender has control of the ball, comes near side, tries to clear it up the sideline. Lydia Denon pushes it back in. Ball's going back and forth between the two teams. A lot of slapping at the ball out there, Pete. The passes just aren't connecting. Montagano tries to get it up past Carter, but Carter knocks it down. Starts to advance up the field. Gets the ball and stick handles through Poirier. She comes up across the 30. Carter across the 20, heads up into the shooter circle, spins. Nice jab by McDonald to slow her down. Ball into the center. O'Donnell's there, knocks it down.
Another corner.
It's going to be a foot call in a corner, but that was a great scoring opportunity once again for Dover, generated by Audrey Carter as she came charging up the field, gets the ball into the shooter circle. And when one player can get through 3-4 players and get it up to their teammate, makes a lot of scoring opportunities and an awful lot of offensive chances. 1:20 left in the second quarter. Dover sets. Insert to Carter. Carter from the shooter circle. Knocked down nicely by McDonald. Goes to clear, and it goes off a Dover player's leg. That's going to be a free hit for Bedford. McDonald quickly up to Grace Wolf, who can't control it. It goes out of bounds. And Dover's going to be able to come back to the 25-yard line on the insert. Looking for a ball to play with here. From the 32, Audrey Carter for Dover. Tries to send it in. O'Donnell sticks a stick out, knocks it out of bounds again. Carter picks it up quickly, advances in, tries a stick handle through 5 different Bedford players. Gets the ball out in front of the net. Shot goes wide to the left, but once again, Carter beating 5 different defenders, trying to slow her down. She stick handles right through all of them and finds her teammate, number 9, Anderson, at the goal mouth. They just can't connect. McDonald for Bedford. Runs out the clock, and we are done with 2 quarters here with the score. Dover Green Wave 2, Bedford Bulldogs 1.
Good work by the Bedford defense to hold them 2 goals, because most of that game is being played in the Bedford zone. So they've held them to 2 goals. If you're watching the live stream, we do have a malfunction with the camera that I'm attempting to operate. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break during halftime, see if we can't fix the camera so we have better shots for you in the second half, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back with the live broadcast. Bedford Bulldogs hosting the Green Wave of Dover. Dover currently leads 2-1. We're at halftime. We've got a plan B for operating the camera, so I'll do my best here, Scott. They held them to 2 goals. An awful lot of time spent by Dover in the Bedford zone. But what do you expect with a player like like Audrey Carter?
Yeah, they just kept coming and, not to play with the pun, but I will anyway. They were coming in waves. So there was just, an onslaught of offensive chances. They just kept getting the ball up the field and doing it quickly, Pete. Usually we're playing these teams, you're seeing a lot of things happen at midfield. And really, they would just get the ball. Carter would scoop it up and rip it down the field, and kind of a set play, when all 3 or 4 of your forwards can just chase that thing down, especially, we see Carter, she could hit the net, from her own 20, if not from the goal line, if, it was uninterrupted.
Right.
So, that creates a completely different dynamic, just like we've seen with some of these other teams, where you see these defenders set up on a free hit and they strike the ball. That's one thing off a free hit. You know it's coming, they're set, you have time to get back, get into position, and they're going to try and hit a lane. That creates one situation, but we don't see this situation often, which is someone picking up the ball in their defensive zone, going to an opening on the run as people are pursuing her, and she's able to drive the field up, drive the ball up the field on the run, in stride. And then next thing you know, she's in the play. So, the Bulldogs had a good showing last night in the 5-1 victory over Nashua South. And the first 3 corner opportunities that the Bulldogs had, they seemed a little disjointed and, weren't really able to get it going until second quarter, and then you saw the team that we were used to. So there are times where the Bulldogs just surprise the heck out of you and start making very crisp passes and smart plays. And we'll see as we start the third quarter in the second half of this game if the Bulldogs are up for this challenge and if they're ready to make this a tie game. Ball comes up to the 40. Carter pursues. Montagano from the 40 tries to go far side. Lynch is there. Lynch, inside out move, goes sideline. Tries to drive it up the far side of the field. Wolf gets in the way. It slows her down, but it's going to go off Wolf's leg. And here come the Dover Green Wave. Up across the 10. Into the shooter circle. Moves it into the goal mouth, but there's Amelia McDonald. Beautiful defensive play. Stick handles nicely around 2 Dover players and gets the ball out of harm's way. Erin Lynch is there for Dover. Tries to make a quick move. Draws the call again against Wolf, but O'Donnell's there, and she knocks it out. Clears it up across the 20. Dover gathers. Carter up across the 15. In the shooter circle, tries backhand. McDonald's there again. Picks the ball up, controls nicely. Up far side of the field off a backhand. Nice one touch from Davidson. Trying to connect far side with Grace Wolf. Davidson again trying to advance that ball up. 1-on-1 against the Dover player. But ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Dover free hit. Number 15, Rylan Gray for Dover on the insert. Gets it back to number 21, Robbins. Kylie with quick feet gives chase and rushes her, but ball still advances into the Bedford zone. O'Donnell tries to clear as it goes across the 40. And she's going to earn the benefit of a free hit. O'Donnell from about the 35 Hits it nicely right across the field to Denon. Denon near side up to Putney. Putney advances it up to Kylie. Kylie from the 30. Kylie tries to get around the Dover defender, gets knocked off her stick. Ball comes back out. Montagano gets it. Montagano tries to make a pass in towards the shooter circle, but Audrey Carter's there. Carter scoops it out of harm's way as she carries and stick handles nicely in and around the 30-yard line. O'Donnell pokes it off her stick, but not good enough because it ends up on Aaron Lynch's stick. Dover advances down the far sideline. And ball back in play. Brooke Poirier tries to clear, but Lynch is there. Montagano gets it. Tries to send it up to Davidson, but it's Davidson's foot. And Lynch tries to quickly come back the other way, but Montagano picks it up. And now Lynch gets it and finds Carter. Just out of her reach, O'Donnell with a big backhand clears it out to the 35, but not far enough to connect with the teammate. And Dover comes right back in. Denon, near sideline. Ball goes out off a Dover player. And McDonald's going to bring it in. McDonald tries to feed it up to Denon. Two Dover players are there to include Carter. Carter spins away quickly, pulls away from Montagano. Into traffic, stick handles through one, through two. Tries to get in the circle, risks it into O'Donnell's feet. She earns a corner.
There's corner number 7 for Dover. Bedford has no corners yet this game. We talked about how they struggled a little bit last night with corners. They haven't even had the opportunity yet, but this just tells you how much time is being spent in the Bedford zone by the Green Wave.
Yeah, McStowe made a couple changes on the field here, put Tegan O'Donnell back on defense with Amelia McDonald and Poirier back on the backside as Dover inserts. Top of the circle to Carter. Carter to Lynch. Lynch tries to get back to Carter. Ball advances into the goal mouth. Dover takes a whack at it. McDonald with a beautiful stick block to stop that scoring opportunity. Excellent defense from Amelia McDonald, junior captain for the Bulldogs. Great defensive play. Carter for Dover from the Bedford 25. Moves right, moves left, stick handles through 3 players. There's Ella O'Keefe for Bedford. Pops it up to Kylie, but ends up hitting her foot. It's going to come back with a free hit for Dover. Carter from the 25 up across the 20. Advances the ball into the circle, hard off O'Donnell's foot. It's going to be another corner chance for Dover. Carter is just so aggressive, always getting those balls to the right place, in towards the net, generating scoring opportunities, generating fouls for by the other team. Just certainly really dominates the game in different ways, Pete, in both aspects, defensively and offensively. As the ball gets inserted, top of the circle to Carter. Carter to Lynch. Lynch tries to go again back to her. Shot on net. Amelia McDonald again tries to knock it out. Lynch steps up, big wrist shot. McDonald again knocks it out, far side, out of harm's way. Amazing defensive effort out there by number 12 junior captain Amelia McDonald as she's keeping these Bulldogs in this game. Ball far side. Ella O'Keefe working far sideline, trying to get the ball out. It's going to be a free ball as Lynch comes in. O'Donnell, quick backhand, finds O'Keefe. O'Keefe up to Sydney Davidson. Davidson gives chase, can't get there in time. And Dover knocks it back out of bounds and is able to reset and get back on defense as the Bulldogs are only out to their 25-yard line. O'Donnell from the 23 on the insert. Big hard pass, finds McDonald, other side of the field. McDonald quickly over to Denon at the 30 as the Bulldogs switch fields. They try to go near sideline, but Denon doesn't get enough stick on it, and it pops out of bounds. So in comes Dover, number 5. Ball out to the 50. Lydia Denon knocks it down. Montagano tries to pop it away, but there is Carter. Carter with speed comes up the field, gets around 2, 3 Bedford Bulldogs into the shooter circle. Big windup, goes back door. Bouncing ball goes just left of the goal mouth. And the Dover offensive player just can't get a stick on it. Leonardi was there. Set up by Carter. Another great scoring opportunity for the Green Wave. McDonald tries to clear. Anderson for Dover. Tries to advance. Ball goes out of bounds. Going to be a free hit for Dover. Number 5, Churchill. Passes down low. McDonald's there to knock it out of bounds. 6:20 left on the clock. Third quarter. Audrey Carter from the 10-yard line, the Bedford zone, brings the ball inbounds. Finds her teammate cutting just out of her reach, and the ball bounces out of bounds off the goal line, out the goal line. And the Bulldogs will come up to the 16. McDonald to Denon, near sideline. They try to zipper pass. Doesn't work. Dover's there. Carter's going to get a free hit from the 25. Here goes Carter. Comes across the 25. Nicely into Lynch. Lynch, quick turnaround. O'Donnell knocks it down. Tries to clear it, but not enough. Gives chase. Does clear it. Pops it out to Ella O'Keefe. Ella O'Keefe with speed. Comes up across the 40. Finds Davidson. Davidson just can't scoop it in. Holds it in. Bounds as it goes up across the 20. Lydia Denon gives chase. And the ball goes out of bounds. Great play by Davidson. A nice pass off of O'Keefe's stick as O'Donnell had cleared and got it to O'Keefe and up the field. Here comes Montagano. Cross. Tries to get in the shooter circle. Knocked down by Dover. And quickly the other way comes Audrey Carter. In transition. Up across the 40. O'Donnell slows her down and pokes the ball out of bounds, giving the Bulldogs a chance to reset. Carter rips one up across the 50. Montagano's there, controls it, tries to go far side, finding Ella Putney, but can't get it out there far enough as the Dover player comes back up the field. Montagano picks her pocket, finds Putney. Putney from the 35 and the 40, gives it up to Kylie. Kylie tries to turn and had a wide open Davidson, but couldn't get it to her. Davidson's still there. Denon tries to get in the shooter circle. Doesn't. Now Natalie Denon with a big drive. Putney tries to advance it. Can't as Dover clears out of harm's way. Near sideline. And wins the benefit of a call. It's going to be a free ball from the 35 as Dover advances back up across the field. Number 7, Leonardi, gives chase. Poirier's there. Nice defensive play. Ball pops up off of Leonardi's leg, and it's going to be a free hit for the Bulldogs. Poirier, beautiful zip pass over to Denon. Denon across the 50. Tries to advance up the far sideline, but knocked down by Carter. Carter pulls it right out in front of two Bedford players, splits the D as she comes up across the 25 and the 20 into the shooter circle. Set up for a backhand, rips one. Leonardi tries to redirect. McDonald is there with a stick on it. Big defensive play for Montagano to clear that ball out of the shooter circle for the Bulldogs. Ball near side. Putney gives chase the sideline. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be a Bedford ball as Denon rushes up the field at the 50. Has Montagano in the center. Tries to go sideline. Advances a 30. Tries a shot, but Carter is there. Ella O'Keefe quickly in transition. Up to Montagano. Montagano finds Denon on the backside. Denon with a quick one-timer puts it in the back of the net for the Bedford Bulldogs. We have a 2-2 field hockey game here in the third quarter.
What a fantastic offensive play that was to get the ball in the net after just taking an onslaught from Dover for the last 10 minutes. Quality, not quantity, maybe.
Absolutely. Capitalizing on the turnover. Ella O'Keefe with a great play getting it up the field. Several other Bedford players slapping at that ball, advancing it. Montagano. And there's Lydia Denon on the back far side with a quick one-timer. Beautiful hand-eye coordination to get it into the back of the net for the Bulldogs as the Dover Green Wave comes roaring back the other way. 2:20 left in the third quarter. Carter trying to advance to the shooter circle. She's going to draw a foul. Commit a foul. It's going to be a free hit for the Bulldogs. Bedford from the 15. Quickly switches fields right onto the stick of McDonald. McDonald from the 15. All the way across to Denon. Denon down near sideline. Tries to find Putney, but intercepted by the Dover player. Eloise Montagano knocks it down. Kylie up across the 40. Has Davidson, if she can get her, advances towards the net. Ball bounces out of bounds, just out of her reach. What a great offensive chance there. And that was the right play, trying to get that ball up the field for Davidson to redirect. Leading goal scorer for the Bulldogs. Just couldn't get there in time. As we go back and forth up and down this field. Great action here, Pete. Aaron Lynch for Dover will get a free hit from the 30. Carter comes over to take it instead. Carter looks. Big lift. Goes about 30 yards down the field. Bounces up. Poirier knocks it down. Gets it up to Montagano. Montagano, quick cuckbat move. Passes it up the field. Putney's there. Putney gives chase at the 30. Finds Kylie. Kylie tries to advance in the shooter circle. Does. It hits a foot. Going to call a free hit for Bedford. But they're not calling the corner. They're going to call it as a free hit just outside the shooter circle. Montagano quickly wrists it into the shooter circle. Carter knocks it down. 15 seconds left. And Dover's going to have a free hit from the 16. 5 seconds left. Carter clears it smartly way up in the air to burn out the clock and out of bounds. And we will go in to this fourth quarter, Pete, with a tie field hockey game, 2-2. Unbelievable comeback from these Bulldogs.
They definitely got fight in them.
I'm not sure what that last call was. The infraction happened where Montagano was trying to get into the shooter circle. The ball very clearly hit the Dover defender's leg and foot. And earlier in the game, the referee had called that a corner in Dover's favor. And I apologize, I just don't know enough about what the call was on the field. But that didn't end up resulting in a corner for the Bulldogs, unfortunately.
Well, if the Bedford side of the stadium was any indication, it should have been a quarter, because they certainly let them know, let the ref know how they felt about the no call there. I'm so busy struggling with the camera today that I missed the entire play. But hopefully we've captured a few good moments here, certainly with the comeback from the Bulldogs. I was talking earlier, Dover has only given up three goals the entire season. The most goals they've had scored against them is 2, and that was with a win over Pinkerton. So we've certainly tied Pinkerton as far as most goals scored this season against against Dover.
And what more could you ask for? A tie field hockey game going in the fourth
Quarter.
quarter. No matter where the chips fall here with what will be left of 15 minutes on the clock, these Bulldogs have shown some serious resiliency in coming back from a 2-goal deficit where it really looked like Dover was in control of the great majority of the game. Bedford had some scoring chances early in the game, but they just didn't look like they were really clicking, and they certainly weren't able to capitalize. I think we only ended up with one shot in that first quarter.
Yeah.
So here we are going into the fourth. They'll put 15 minutes on the clock. It's anybody's contest here. Both goalies have played extremely well. I'm impressed by both teams and how hard they're playing in both ends. And Coach McStowe has had to make some adjustments on that back line with the injury to junior defender Mia Catane. She had inserted senior captain defender Maddie O'Donnell and then switched it back up again. And Tegan O'Donnell's moved back line with Amelia McDonald and Brooke Poirier. Midfield will be Ella O'Keefe, Eloise Montagano, and Natalie Denon. And then across the front of the field, now Julia St. Hilaire is in, along with Maddie Kiley, Sydney Davidson, and Lydia Denon. St. Hilaire wins a call, Bedford's favor. Denon comes up from the 20, tries to find Montagano. Montagano tries to go back to Denon. Denon battles for it on the sideline, spins, advances, but there's Audrey Carter on the intercept. Comes up across the 30 with open field. Comes up across the 40. Beats O'Donnell. Comes up across the 30. Beats Poirier. Up across the 20. Into the shooter circle. Rips one at the net. Saved by Addie Wolfiger. And ball pops up off the foot of a Dover player. Very nicely played by Wolfiger. Free hit for the Bulldogs. O'Donnell, big long pass, finds Davidson. Davidson tries to connect with Denon on the run. Isn't able to. And Dover's going to get the ball the other way. They go far sideline, get it up across the 15 and the 10. Montagano defending, trying to push the Dover player out. And does nicely. Very nice defensive play by Eloise Montagano for the Bulldogs. O'Donnell will bring it up to the 16-yard line on the free hit. Surveys the field. Big lift up the field, about 25 yards down. Kiley tries to knock it down on the run, but it just gets out of her reach. McDonald up across the 30, up across the 40. Gets it nicely up across the 50. Beautifully passes down the sideline, but St. Hilaire gives chase and just can't get there in time. That's a smart play, Pete, to push this Dover team back into their zone. Insert. Montagano knocks it down. Montagano one-on-one against Carter. Carter pokes at it. Goes out of bounds. Going to be a free hit for the Bulldogs. Montagano tries to find Kiley. Does. Kiley tries to smack it up to Lydia Denon. Ball bounces out of the reach of Ella O'Keefe. O'Donnell comes up, advances the ball far sideline, trying to turn defense into offense. She's going to have to hustle to get back down the field as Brooke Poirier knocks it out of bounds and slows it down. Carter spins quickly around the Bulldogs into the shooter circle, tries backhand, misses it, but rebound. Number 9, Anderson, almost put that in the back of the net for the Green Wave as Carter just didn't get all of it. And I've seen Carter play a lot of field hockey, maybe 1 out of every 10. Something like that happens, but it still turned into a goal-scoring opportunity for the Green Wave. Lynch Far side, Ella O'Keefe pressures. Carter gathers it in at the 5. Tries to wrist it. Ends up going off the leg of Montagano. And it's going to be a free hit for the Dover Green Wave down about the 3-yard line. Lynch starts the play, moves left and right, gets into the shooter circle, tries to cross it in front, does. Ball bounces around. Tegan O'Donnell's there trying to get it out, does, as she plays it off the leg of a Dover player. That's going to come back out to the 16. O'Donnell tries to drive it far side. It comes up too high, ends up hitting Leonardi in the arm, and that's going to be a free hit for Dover as Audrey Carter quickly stick handles, wrists the ball, front of the net, shot! Anderson on the rebound. Green Wave score.
Well, Bedford had some excellent stops in that in those series of plays.
Pete, the referee is changing the call on the field. Looks like he's calling that a no goal. I'm not certain why that is. We don't have instant replay up here in the booth, unfortunately. This game is going to stay 2-2. As they call that goal back. An unfortunate bounce for Dover. That looked like a beautiful play and a really nice goal by Anderson off the play from Carter. But the referee saw something down there. And these officials, they really do a good job in these games. Field hockey is a very tough game to call. There's a lot of discretion for these referees. And I imagine with how fast this game goes, it's hard to keep up with those plays, just like it's hard for us up in the booth being able to figure out what the call is. When you're
No question. I wish we could mic them up so they could feed the call to us and understand just what negated that goal.
From the 16, Tegan O'Donnell for the Bulldogs. Starts the play out, changes fields quickly to McDonald. McDonald up across the 30. If she hurries, she's got St. Hilaire. Nice ball up the field to the 40. St. Hilaire at the 30. Carries it up, gives it to Kylie. Kylie swipes it up, tries to get in the shooter circle as Davidson was charging all alone again. But Dover's there to knock it away. O'Donnell drills it right back in. Just the top of the shooter circle. Denon tries to advance it to the goal mouth. Nicely defended by the Dover player as they come back up the field. Dover draws a call for a free hit, and they do not hesitate. They take off with the ball. Referee lets it go. Turns into a goal-scoring opportunity off the post. Leonardi with a quick redirect hits the right post and stays out. As so far, Bedford has dodged 2 knives here. Ball comes up to the 30. Kylie spins. Tries to clear it up to the 50. Does. Ball goes far side. Ella O'Keefe, number 14 for the Bulldogs. Beautiful pass. Far side of the field. Onto Davidson's stick. Davidson into Denon. Denon back out to Davidson. Davidson across the 20. Trying to advance that ball up the shooter circle. Does. Maddie Kylie backhand shot. Right pad save from the Dover goalie, Kathleen Everest, who's played one heck of a game. Nice job by Davidson and Denon on the far side of the field, beating several players to get the ball into the shooting circle. O'Donnell, big intercept at the 40. Advances the ball down to the 30, but a Dover player's there. Goes to clear, and O'Donnell comes back the other way. Ball pops up off the top of her stick. And she inserts. Gets it to the 25, but Audrey Carter knocks it down. Quick spin move, stick handles between 2 Bedford players, and goes far sidelines, but out of bounds and out of reach of her teammate, number 3, Hannah DeRoy. Bulldogs. O'Donnell tries to advance the ball all the way across the field, but knocked down by Leonardi for Dover. Denon is there for Bedford. Over to O'Keefe. O'Keefe, nice stick handle on the far sideline. Sends it up to Denon. Denon just can't get there. O'Keefe gives more pressure, but the ball comes back the other way as Dover comes flying down the sideline, up across the 20, up across the 10. Ball inserted towards the goal mouth, but out of bounds. Nicely defended by Tegan O'Donnell. The ball is going to come back out to the 25. And Carter comes up across the 10 quickly. Defended by Montagano, but back out of bounds again. Dover's going to have the ball again at the 25. Number 15, Rylan Gray and Aaron Lynch line up across the 25. Lynch tries to go low to Carter. Ball goes out of bounds. Still going to remain Dover's ball. We're just under 6 minutes in the fourth quarter of a tied field hockey game here, 2-2 at Bedford High School. Here comes Carter. Charges into traffic. Montagano goes low, trying to knock the ball down. And Dover's going to get another free hit. Bulldogs need to take control of this ball right now and get it out as Dover keeps coming. Carter, wrist shot into the circle trying to get Lynch. Gets knocked out, but Carter's there, pulls it back in. Backhand, high shot, just over the top of the net. Another 2 inches under that bar. That would have been a goal. McDonald's for Bedford, looking for an opening. Pops it beautifully down the near sideline to Denon. Denon advances it up to the 40. St. Hilaire tries to get to it. Kiley pokes at it. Dover beats them, gets the ball back. O'Donnell, far side of the field, spin move. Carries nicely with room. Comes up across the 25, up across the 30. Tries to send Kiley on the run. But Dover was able to redirect it and knock it down. Nice defensive play by Churchill there for Dover. Carter. Carter tries to go up the middle. Denon knocks it down. Leonardi tries a spin move. It goes off her foot. It's going to be Bedford ball. Denon, good rip, trying to get to St. Hilaire, but again, goes out of bounds before it can get to St. Hilaire's stick. Just about 4 minutes left on the clock. 2-2 game. Fourth quarter. Dover from the 40. Churchill inserts. Finds Anderson, number 9. Anderson up across the 20. Amelia McDonald is there, knocks it down. They're going to call a free hit for Dover. Audrey Carter from the 20 for Dover. Advances, rips one. Just left of the goal mouth. Took that shot from outside the shooter circle, so even if that went in the back of the net, it would not have counted. But again, generating offense everywhere she goes. McDonald from the 15 tries to go far sideline. It bounces over Denon's stick, unfortunately, and out of bounds. Going to be Dover's ball. Dover has pinned the Bulldogs into their zone. From the 20, Carter. Kiley tries to defend. Montagano puts a stick down. Free hit for Carter. Carter comes back across the field. Montagano again gets off her foot. Carter is an unbelievably smart player. She keeps on doing that. She runs out of room and she pokes the ball right into the defender's feet. Nice defense by Ella O'Keefe, who clears the ball up across the 50 and out of harm's way. And the Dover player is going to lose the ball. If Bedford can hurry, they have numbers. O'Keefe from the 50. And instead, O'Donnell's going to slide up to the 50. McStow's going to slow them down and have them control this play a little bit. Ball back to Poirier. Poirier tries to get it back to O'Donnell. Pass behind her, out of bounds. Lynch. Lynch from the 40. Passes it up far sideline. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Dover's ball again. Lynch from the 25. Tries to go down goal line. O'Donnell gives chase for the Bulldogs. Tries to spin out of the way. Backed into the Dover player. Instead of spinning out, they're going to call free hit for Dover as they insert into the circle. Anderson tries to do the same thing, and the referee staying consistent with those calls is going to be a free hit for the Bulldogs as Tegan O'Donnell comes out to the 16 with it. Just under about a minute 30 on the in the fourth quarter. O'Donnell, big lift, tries to go far side for the opening, finds McDonald. McDonald with room, rips it down the near sideline. Denon there. Denon pops at it. Just can't get it past the 40-yard line as number 15, Rylan Gray, with a beautiful defensive play for Dover to slow McDonald and Denon down from getting the ball out of the Bedford end. McDonald tries to lift, just misses it. Leonardi with the ball. Eloise Montagano, nice stick tackle. Denon with a quick drive up the 40, just doesn't get it far enough for Davidson to get to it. Ball right back up the middle of the field. O'Donnell, one-timer, drills it back up to the 50. Lynch knocks it down. Ella O'Keefe gives pursuit. Nice stick handle. She advances the ball up to the 20. Davidson chases after it, wins it, advances it. Maddie Kiley in towards the net, on the goal. Kicked out nicely by the goalie for Dover, and St. Hilaire can't get there. 25 seconds left on the clock. Denon from the 10, inserts, up comes Carter. Carter with room, up across the 30, 15 seconds left, up across midfield. Carter, 3-on-3 against the Bulldogs, goes left, tries to come back right. Brooke Poirier is there, slows her down. Going to get the benefit of the call. Carter comes up with it quickly into the shooter circle. Stick handles right and left. Tries to get it towards the goal mouth. And she wins a corner call as she advances that ball once again off the Bedford Bulldog player's foot. She did it again, Pete.
She is such a savvy player. Let me back up. She is an aggressive, savvy player, and it shows tonight. It's this game for Dover is all about Audrey Carter. And here we go, no time left, and she set her team up for a very good scoring opportunity.
As Dover sets, Gray on the insert. Bedford players getting their face masks on. Referee ready to give the call, gives a signal. Gray inserts to Carter, top of the circle, big rip. Gets deflected. Ball out in front, bounces around the goal mouth, back to Carter. She advances towards the net, a spin and a shot. And the referee called the ball dead. We have a 2-2 tie at the end of regulation. And the Bulldogs just dodged a bullet on that one.
I'll tell you, that was quite a play by Audrey Carter. You just gotta admire how she just makes stuff happen and makes goals happen on the field. With 10 seconds left, I heard you counting down the clock, and she had the wherewithal to create a corner for her team by deflecting a ball off of a Bulldog player. That's that's beyond high school league. That's definitely top-notch play.
Well, that's Division I caliber field hockey,
sure
right?
is.
And we're seeing it in front of our eyes. Just like you said, Pete, time's running out on the clock. She really isn't in the shooter circle. She's hustling up the field. The whole time she's got her head up as she's carrying the ball in almost a full sprint. She realizes even though she gets to the top of the shooter circle, she doesn't have a lane to get the ball to the net. So what does she do? She puts it right onto the foot of a Bedford player and ends up getting the benefit of that corner. And the Bulldogs certainly got to give them a lot of credit for keeping the ball out of the net in that last corner as it got bounced around. Anderson, number 9, had a shot at it. Several other girls had a shot at it for Dover, but Addie Wolfiger has played one heck of a game for the Bulldogs. Seems to be squaring up nicely to the ball.
Scott, the statistic is just hard to read. 10 corners for the Dover Big Wave.
Unbelievable.
Green Wave, 10 corners. And we've only allowed 2 goals. I say we. The Bulldogs have only allowed 2 goals. Bedford, on the flip side, has had 0 corners in this game, which is so highly unusual. for any field hockey team. And they've also managed to score 2 goals. And here we are heading into overtime.
Well, for you tuning in at home, you've certainly been able to see one of the best field hockey games we've had so far this season and had the pleasure of broadcasting. Thank you for joining us tonight here from Bedford High School, as the students like to call it, the Bedford Boneyard. That's how they refer to the playing field here. They certainly shown unbelievable resilience, staying and coming back into this game and then being able to keep the ball out of the net. Incredible defensive play. Amelia McDonald's been all over the defensive part of the field and several times looked up, and she's knocking the ball down and carrying it out of harm's way and clearing it. Lots of nice play from Natalie Denon, and Ella O'Keefe checked into the game early. And it's really a credit to these players that are staying ready on the sideline, not knowing when they're going to get the call and be asked to go into the game. She comes into the game as a midfielder, junior player, and she has really made an impact on transitioning that ball, up and across midfield and getting it down the field and trying to hook up with Denon and with Davidson. There have been a couple of plays here in that fourth quarter where, as the Bulldogs are transitioning and coming quickly up the field, you had Davidson and Denon on both sides, one far right, one far left of the defender, wide open, the defender trying to split the difference, and the Bulldog carrying the ball up the field just couldn't get it through to them. And not for lack of trying, it's more for the credit of this Dover defense, who certainly has done a nice job of slowing the Bulldogs down. But not enough, because we got a 2-2 tie game going into overtime. And the way overtime is played for everyone at home, it's going to be a 7-on-7 scenario. There should be 10 minutes put on the clock, I believe, to start this off, and we'll see how this goes. I'm not really sure which team this favors. You've got, you're going to put your best players in the field no matter what. I would say, at face value, you give Audrey Carter more room on the field to maneuver, and she's going to create a lot of panic, in the offensive zone. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, they got to watch Audrey Carter. She had a couple of plays in regular time where she took it from her zone all the way into the Bulldog territory. It was a Bobby Orr move. She has that in her. She can go one end to the other, and once she gets ahead of steam, it's pretty tough to stop her.
And excuse me for misspeaking. Counting the goalie, it is 7v7, but we have 6 field players on 6. McStowe goes with Maddie Kiley, Natalie Denon, Eloise Montagano, Ella O'Keefe, who certainly earned her way onto this overtime play, Tegan O'Donnell, and Amelia McDonald for the 6 for the Bulldogs. Carter, Lynch, Churchill on for the Dover Green Wave. Robbins. As the ball gets up into the Dover end, Denon gives chase, but ball's cleared by Dover as they go far sideline. Montagano quickly knocks it down, tries to get it to Kiley. Kiley turns, sends it, and ball goes out of the goal line. It's going to be a free hit for Dover. Keep your eyes on Carter and Lynch. Lynch is a sneaky player, too. Really, really good with the ball on her stick. She makes this beautiful outside-in hook move, right to left, typically. Nicely knocked down by Montagano. Quick turnaround from Ella O'Keefe, trying to just redirect it at the net. That wouldn't have counted if it went in, because O'Keefe was outside the shooter circle, but not a bad idea. Maybe she could have caught the goalie by surprise, and the goalie might have given up a rebound as Maddie Kiley was coming in a far side real fast. Carter tries to get it over to Lynch. O'Donnell gives chase, knocks it up in the air, but Dover wins it back up across the 30. Montagano trying to push the Dover player out. Spin move from the Dover player at the 20. Tries to get into Lynch, but up comes McDonald. McDonald up the field, and Archie Carter picks her pocket. Montagano does the same, returns the favor. O'Donnell goes to play the ball and gets knocked down by the Dover player, number 3, Hannah DeRoy. And it's going to be a free hit, Bedford's way. O'Donnell onto the stick of Ella O'Keefe. Ella O'Keefe at the 40, comes near side, stick handles, gets it up the field, but knocked down by Churchill Rylan Gray knocked that down for the Dover Green Wave. Denon tries to go far side, intercepted by the Dover player as she comes across the 20 quickly, has room, trying to get the ball out to the center. Carter from the top of the shooter circle, big windup. Ball goes wide left. That was a quick transition from the Green Wave with a nice scoring opportunity. That ball is going to come back up to the 25. Carter's going to have plenty of room to move. Carter moves the 5 yards, tries a stick handle, nicely defended by Maddie Kiley, but they're going to make a call, and it's going to be back to Dover. Carter into Lynch. Lynch tries a stick handle around Montagano. Montagano pokes it out. Ella O'Keefe gives chase, just out of her reach. Ball back into Lynch. Lynch with a one-timer, advance it towards the net. It hits O'Donnell in the leg, and Dover's going to get a corner. Smart play by Lynch on the one-timer. If that didn't get knocked down by O'Donnell in her leg, that would have counted if it went in, because Lynch was inside the shooter circle, smartly trying to get the ball quickly to the net. Carter and Lynch, top of the shooter circle. As Gray sets to inbound, does to Lynch. Lynch slides it over to Carter. Carter with a big rip. Hits Montagano in the leg. She goes down. We're going to have an injured player on the field. Montagano absorbed all of that hit as the Bedford players pick her up and try and advance her off the field. Montagano has had one heck of a game today. Incredible effort. She's picked the pocket of Carter several times. Just been instrumental for these Bulldogs. As the trainer carries her off the field to attend to her. Here goes McDonald, far side, tries to advance the ball up. Lydia Denon does, gets it up to her sister Natalie Denon. Natalie Denon up to Kiley. Kiley can get a 2-on-1 if she hurries. She doesn't, because Erin Lynch is there for Dover as she pokes it away and then earns a call for a free hit. She gets it up to Carter. Carter weaves back up across the 40, full speed up across the 50. Denon gives chase, trying to play her. Carter moves left, moves right. McDonald, beautiful sweep check to knock the ball off of Carter's stick. Nicely played. And the referee made a call. Referee called the corner. Dover with a major scoring opportunity here. It looked to be beautifully defended by McDonald's on the sweep check. I'm not sure the rule for that. Apologize as the ball gets inserted. Top of the circle, Carter. Carter, O'Donnell knocks it down. Stops the shot. It's going to come back the other way for the Bulldogs. McDonald. Excuse me. Far side of the field.
That'll be a free hit for McDonald at the 15-yard line.
Okay, Bedford pulls it up. Tries to get it to the 30. Carter intercepts. Moves inside out. Earns a foul off the Bedford foot. Carter slides it in to Lynch. Lynch advances towards the net. McDonald pokes it away. Nicely defended. She's going to earn the benefit of a free hit for the Bulldogs. Sophomore Tegan O'Donnell will take it from the 16. 3:30 on the clock. O'Donnell tries to go far side, knocked down by Lynch at the 30. Lynch spins up across the 20, but O'Keefe is there, slows her down, gets the benefit of the call. McDonald quickly tries to give an outlet to O'Keefe, but O'Keefe just didn't see the ball coming. It goes out of bounds, unfortunately, for the Bulldogs as they tried to transition quickly up the field. Bulldogs are going to have to get this ball out of their zone. Just under 3 minutes left on the clock. Carter from the 30. Goes far side. O'Donnell scoops it up. Near sideline. Lynch takes the ball right away from her into the shooter circle. Sees her teammate in front of the goal mouth, but it goes off her foot. And it's going to be a free hit for the Bulldogs as they come back out to the 16. O'Donnell. 2:30 on the clock. Moves up. Goes wide. Finds Denon. Denon up across the 40. Denon sends it to Kylie. Kylie pops it around the defender. She's in alone. She's got O'Keefe on her left. Gets a shot off. Beautiful save by the Dover goalie. Another shot and a save. O'Donnell's there. She scoops it. Advances it at the net. There's going to be a corner call going the Bedford Bulldogs' way. Beautiful pass from Denon up to Kylie. Kylie in on a breakaway. It was a 2-on-0 on the Dover goalie. And Kylie smartly got the ball to the net, which generated rebounds.
Well, here we go. This is Bedford's first corner of the game in overtime. Let's see if they can make it count.
McDonald, top of the circle. Denon inserts right to McDonald in the shooter circle. Wrist shot deflected and goes left and wide of the goal mouth as that looks like it hits Audrey Carter. She appears to be okay. And they're going to award Bedford with another corner off that play. McDonald got a good shot off. It was nicely defended as Carter sacrificed her entire body to knock that ball down.
Sure did.
McDonald ready for the insert. Up to Kylie. Kylie from the shooter circle over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, wrister, knocked down by Lynch. Bounce around. O'Keefe tries to get it to the goal mouth, but nicely defended by the Dover Green Wave. And they stop the Bedford offensive opportunity. 35 seconds on the clock. Carter, big rip up the field. Knocked down nicely by Lydia Denon as she spins it back the other way. Advances off of Aaron Lynch's foot. It's going to be a free hit. O'Donnell shoots it towards the net. Ball kicked down by the Dover goalie.
Holy cow.
And the Bulldogs are going to get another corner with 12 seconds running down on the clock.
They'll let the clock run down on that, and they'll take the corner with no time remaining.
Well, this is it, Pete. No time on the clock. Overtime is over. Corner awarded. Either Bedford scores and wins this game or we end in a draw. Unbelievable field hockey game as Denon sets and waits for the referee to give the signal. Referee does. Ball comes up to McDonald. McDonald, wrister. Ball gets deflected. Bounces out to the right, but we're going to get another corner for the Bulldogs as it hit a foot. And the Bulldogs huddle up, trying to come up with a play as McStow's also calling something in from the sideline. MacDonald goes down to the baseline. Maddie Kiley near slot. Comes up to O'Donnell, top of the circle. Slides it down to Kiley. Kiley with a quick shot. Beautiful save by the Dover goalie as she keeps the ball out of the back of the net. The Bulldogs executed perfectly on that corner, but they just couldn't put it away. And you got to give credit to the Dover goalie for playing that nicely. Kathleen Everett saved the day for the Green Wave and kept that ball out. And the Bulldogs are going to walk away with a tie. And this is the first time the Bedford Dover Green Wave has not won this season.
I'll tell you, catching my breath watching that last 5 minutes. That game could have gone either way, but Bedford, with far fewer opportunities in the offensive zone, held their own. Defense stepped up. Boy, we saw everything in this game.
It certainly did. Everything.
We saw overtime. When I was lamenting that Bedford had 0 corners all game, well, they had 1, 2, 3 in overtime. I guess if you're going to get corners, you want them in overtime. Yeah, they couldn't convert them, but they sure gave it a shot here. They got to feel real good about where they stand tonight now, having held Dover to the top in the state. Top D1 in the state team to a tie.
You certainly do. It's a moral victory here, Pete. And, you're taking on the best team in the entire state, the best player in the state, probably arguably the 2 best players in the state between Erin Lynch and Audrey Carter. And the Bedford Bulldogs really took it to them, held in that battle, back and forth game, and capitalized on some scoring opportunities. And absolutely unbelievable that ended in a tie. And that goes to show you, with where the standings are, where the records are around the state, it is anybody's contest. It is wide open. Even though Dover has the best record in the state and is at the top of the heap, the Bulldogs are tied right now, I believe, for 5th place with Pinkerton.
Yep,
And
that is correct.
With this tie, that would probably propel them into 4th place, as Dover beat Pinkerton the other day. I believe it was by 1 goal. I think
you're correct. And I got to believe if you're a Bulldog, you feel pretty good after a fantastic performance against the Dover Green Wave. Here they go into Windham on Monday, and that will be another game. Windham is 10-0 right now, and seemingly unstoppable. So in spite of the shaky camera work, few malfunctions there with equipment, it was an overall great game, Scott. We'll be back here to call, I think, the Nashua North game on Wednesday or Thursday, and then we've got BG, which will be another big game. But for tonight, we'll take the tie 2-2. And for Scott O'Donnell and myself, Pete MacDonald, thanks for watching the live stream, and we'll catch you at the next game.